Welcome back to the channel. This week is a lot better than last week. Last week we were in the stinky, smelly Apex, but this week we're in Perth, Australia. Okay, it's UFC Fight Night Perth. Main event is Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prates. Co-main, we've got Beneil Dariush versus Quinlan Salkeld. Actually a decent looking card throughout as well, not just main and co-main. We've got the King, Shamil Gassiev. We've got Taito Ivasa if you're into that. I don't know why you would be. It's a decent little card. It's actually going to be quite. It's got some good entertainment value on there. Okay, it's not just trash Apex phoning it in. Okay. First fight of the night, we've got Cody Steele versus Don Marfam. Me personally, I'm leaning towards Don Marfam. I think both guys are actually pretty decent. I know Cody Steele is coming off of a loss against Rong Jun, but yeah, I do think both guys are well-rounded enough. I do think both guys are probably UFC level. They've got a little bit more growing to do, coming into their own, fight-wise, fight style-wise, and athletically. Maybe IQ-wise, I suppose, as well. Learning the feel of the big stage. The UFC is a little bit different. People say, I don't know how true it is, but you'll see a guy do really well, get to the UFC level competition and get squashed immediately. And hopefully that's not what happens to Cody Steele, but it could go that way. It could go that way. But you're 7-1 right now, so let's not write him off yet. But yeah, and then we've got Don Marfam. Done well on Road to UFC. I didn't follow him all the way through Road to UFC. I was not avidly watching Road to UFC, but we've taken a little look at him as research for the card and stuff. But I think at the time we had seen his fight against Park. Was it Park? It was Park. So we had seen his fight against Park, but none of the others. But now we've taken a look. Both guys well-rounded, like I said. I think Cody Steele maybe has the grappling and the grappling advantage. The grappling in the advantage. Cody Steele has the grappling advantage in my opinion. I think Don Marfam will lead in the striking, but I think Don Marfam has enough grappling because he's not like a one-trick pony either. Neither are, but I do think Don Marfam has a grappling level comparative to Cody Steele to be able to stand or even change positions and get on top. Sweep and whatnot. Whereas Cody Steele isn't a bad striker. I think he'll be able to stand for a little while, but I do think as things get more complex, or maybe as things get more tiring, Don Marfam will pull ahead in the striking. So I think Don Marfam is probably going to win this one. I think it's going to go to a decision in favour of Don Marfam, but I'm thinking a clear decision. On to the next one. We've got Jonathan Mikalev versus Thamba Garimbo. Tough one for me. I like the fact that, Thamba Garimbo not done too well against Vicente Luque and Jeremiah Wales. Not I like that as in I'm rooting on Thamba Garimbo's downfall. I actually quite like Thamba Garimbo. I meant more so I like this for Jonathan Mikalev because yeah, he's coming off a decent set of wins here. He managed to finish Oban Elliott as well. But it's not too much too soon. I think Thamba Garimbo is actually a great step up. And Thamba Garimbo is marketable. He's known. He's recognised. So I think Mikalev has gotten a really decent opportunity here. And it's his fight to lose. At the end of the day, it's his fight to lose. And I do see Mikalev pulling ahead. In the grappling, I think in the grappling, I think he's going to be able to stand with Thamba Garimbo. He's going to be able to. I don't think he's going to struggle in the stand-up. He's got to be careful because Tamba's got power. And, Tamba can flounder a bit on the ground. But, it's more that Thamba Garimbo's an athletic build, but then so is Mikalev, But yeah, we're going to lean towards Jonathan Mikalev in this one. I do think it's going to be a 3-fight skid for Thamba Garimbo after this one. Sorry, Mr. Garimbo. Terrible. Next fight is Wes Schultz versus Ben Johnson. Again, Ben Johnson, not a guy who's on my radar, obviously, because Ben Johnson, not even in the UFC. Don't really watch Eternal MMA, but okay. That's that. So yeah, not as researched on this fight as we would like to be. The Tapology's picks does suggest that Johnson wins this one by a big knockout. Yeah, maybe, very maybe. I see the reasoning behind it. I do see the reasoning behind it. Wes Schultz isn't amazing either, to be fair, and he is not an easy opponent, but he's an how do I say this correctly? He's the kind of guy that you would want to debut against, you know, like the list of dudes. Like you don't want, any fight's scary, but you know, you've got the choice. You've got the choice, and you get Wes Schultz. You're like, yeah, I'll have a go with Wes Schultz, you know. But yeah, nonetheless, I don't know. I don't know. Will Ben Johnson crumble on the big stage is the real question. He's taller, to be fair. His he has the lesser of the reach though, only slightly, and I feel like the height makes up for that as well. A little bit older, not crazy difference really. It is a tough one. It is a tough one. But then even so, even with age factor as well, Wes Schultz has more fights. So you know what? I'm gonna go with Wes Schultz. How crazy is that, right? How crazy is that? Yeah, you know, I'm gonna go with Wes Schultz. I think maybe the grappling puts Wes ahead. I would like to think so. I would like to think that Wes Schultz gets ahead because of the grappling. Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. On to the next one. We've got Cody Thickness versus Vince Morales. Do we go with the Aussie? Do we go with the Aussie? Is the real question, isn't it? Is it going to be a night for the Aussies? I mean, he is being fed an easier fight in Vince Morales again. You know, they're doing this thing now where they stack on the card in favour of hometowns. You know, make of that what you will. But yeah, to be fair to Vince Morales, you know, losing to Raul Rosas Jr. isn't really that bad. And losing to Elijah Smith isn't really that bad either, especially at the time as well. Like a 7-1 Elijah Smith. So a pretty mean competitor. I think Elijah Smith's still doing pretty well, if I do remember correctly. And then Taylor Lapulus as well. Not like a world beater by any stretch, but a tough dude. So, you know, not on the best of runs in the UFC is Vince Morales. So yeah, you know what? I think we're going to go with Cody Thickness. I think Cody Thickness is going to take the spot of Vince Morales in the UFC, and I think that's that. To be honest with you, I do think that is probably a career for Vince Morales after this skid. I mean, you know, he can always leave the UFC, get a couple of wins, come back, but that's a cap right there. You know, that's a level of competition that you've consistently failed against. So we need to go back to the drawing board. But yeah, it doesn't even seem like people are really behind this guy. Yeah, we're gonna go with Colby Thickness. It's just how it has to be. So yeah, we're going with Colby Thickness. Do I think we'll get a finish? Probably not. I mean, Morales is still pretty tough, to be fair, and even though he lost to these guys, they did take him to a decision. And some of these guys, in my opinion, are better in areas than Colby Thickness. So yeah, we're gonna go with Colby Thickness nonetheless, and we do think it's going to be a decision in favor of Colby Thickness. On to the next one. We've got Jacob Malkoun versus Gerald Meerschaert. I'm not a fan of Jacob Malkoun at all. There's going to be a couple of outliers on this card. The thing is I'm going to have to pick him because he's being put against Gerald Meerschaert. You know, like 4-fight losing streak. You know, it used to be GM3. He would come back, he'd get you in the third round, man. But yeah, it just hasn't been happening recently. And even in that sense, he's been getting GM3'd himself. Like people are getting him in the third round now. It's like, you know, I do think it's over. So this could even be a last fight for Gerald Meerschaert. And Meerschaert. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. But yeah, I don't particularly like Jacob Malkoun. He beat Torres Finney, which is, you know, we have to thank him for that, to be fair. We do have to thank him for that, because, you know, Torres Finney was an abomination. Yeah, he knocked out Andrew Petrosky, I suppose. I suppose. See, if you read right there, it's ground strikes after hard collision. What does that mean? Well, that means that Petrosky headbutted Jacob Malkoun's hip, trying to go for a takedown and knocked himself out. So you know, and it was in a fight as well, by the way, that I was picking Andrei Petrosky to win, and until that moment, I feel like Andrei Petrosky was winning. He was throwing the fight away. He was starting to throw the fight away, to be fair, if memory serves me. But yeah. So, you know, Jacob Malkoun, not a guy that I think is extraordinary by any stretch. Like, not at all. I don't think Jacob Malkoun is an amazing fighter. It may even be worth, because, you know what, Jacob Malkoun's so bad, it might be worth going with Gerald Meerschaert. Genuinely, it might actually be worth, like, I know I know we don't like Torres Finney, okay, but I know going to a decision with him is pretty tough. I don't know. I feel like there's potential. I can just throw some Hail Mary money. Like, just, you know what? Just throw $1, £1 on Gerald Meerschaert. Thank you. Not sponsored, by the way. Oh, she does love me, guys. She does love me. But yeah, so we're gonna go with Jacob Malkoun for the prediction. We are. We're gonna go with Jacob Malkoun for the prediction. But honestly, we're gonna have some fun putting some side action on Gerald Meerschaert in the third round. Because why not? Because why not? So yeah, that's Jacob Malkoun. I think probably wins this one. Yeah, I'd say by a decision, but I would put money on the Meerschaert in the third round just in case. Anyway, moving on. That was for the prediction. That was Jacob Malkoun by decision. Next up, we've got Junior Taffa versus Kevin Christian. Christian. I don't know why I fumbled that. Taffa brothers, not a big fan of them. They came into the UFC and got a big knockout, coming into the UFC on short notice. Both of the Taffa bros, I believe, did that. I think they swapped opponents or something, because I don't know why. But yeah, they both came in, made a big statement, got a knockout, and then I think they did some more good stuff. And then it's just been kind of hit and miss since then. And don't get me wrong, Junior Taffa has actually fought Junior Taffa's losses have aged well, okay? So Walter Walker, actually a fucking sick contender. Like, actually really, really good prospect. Walter Walker could be going for a title shot very soon if he keeps it up. So Sean Sheriff, not a bad dude to be getting a win over. The only problem is that Sean Sheriff now, that's the thing, his win has diminished. His most recent win has diminished. And he's only 1-4 in his last 5 fights, by the way. You know? And he's not good. He's not good. I know people like him. He's not good. He's just not. But yeah, he beat Sean Sheriff, but then Sean Sheriff's been like absolutely dog walked repeatedly since then. It's really diminished that win. Yeah. Like you beat Sean Sheriff, he's can. But yeah, Tuco Tacos, not so like at the time everyone was like, oh, he got fucking beat by Tuco Tacos. What? Tuco Tacos actually turned out to be decent. He's aged very well. It's a loss that's aged well. Yeah, I guess you could say the same kind of for but you know, he's not incredible either. But yeah, some of his losses have aged well. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. He's not just going to knock him out, is he? Because time and time again, we say Junior Taffa or Justin Taffa is just going to knock him out. And it just doesn't happen. So yeah. I suppose the saving grace is that they both got submitted by the same dude. So we're just going to see, you know, who can last the longest, I suppose. But yeah, I'm going to go with Kevin Christensen for this one. I can't do it. I can't justify doing it. I'm going to be picking a lot of Australians for this card. I think it's going to be a card I think it's a card that's been built in favour for Australia. You know, they were giving the hometown a good night. A good night. We're giving them an entertaining night. But I think Kevin Christensen's probably going to win this one. I do hesitate to pick him. But yeah, I don't rate Junior Taffa that highly, to be honest with you. I really don't. Sorry to say it. On to the next one. That's Kevin Christensen. I'm thinking a boring decision, to be honest with you. Next fight is Cam Rowenson versus Robert Brejček. Oh, that's how you pronounce that. I'm not Polish. Yeah, again, a decent little scrap. So, Cam Rowenson, he'd been given some easier fights. Let's just be real. Some not the easiest fights in the world, but some of the easier fights. To be fair, Cody Brundage, not the easiest of fights, but not a world beater again. You know, I'm not saying these guys are being guarded. I'm just saying we're not at the highest level of the UFC yet, and that's fine. And you know who definitely isn't the highest level of the UFC? Probably Robert Brejček. I had Ihor Potieria to beat Brejček, and I do think, I can't remember. Did I have Brad Tavares to win that fight? I don't think I did. I think I bet on Polish Power. I think I had it by knockout. So, yeah, I am going to lean towards to roasting. I hope that's how you. Cam's roasting, bro. He's sweating in there, brother. Sweating to death. I hope that's how you pronounce it. He's very hot. It's a tough one. Should we take? You know what? Before I back out of there, should we take a look at what Tapology thinks? See, Tapology thinks roasting by knockouts, and I was thinking roasting will put on a good performance as well. Go on, I'll go with Tapology. I mean, it said it down there as well. To be fair, you probably read that first. Yeah, I feel like again this card is built for the Aussies. I think Cam is probably going to win this one. So yeah, we're going to go with Cam roasting. He's too hot. He's too hot not to. Absolutely on fire. He's roasting. Next fight is Tai Tuivasa versus Louis Sutherland. Look, we're biased on this channel. We are biased on this channel, but whenever we do a card that's like in the UK and we say we're biased on this channel and we do what we're doing today, you know, with the Australians, and we pick all the guys from the UK and we say, you know, we're just better, and then we get to Louis Sutherland, and I'm like, I like Louis Sutherland, but he's not that good. And then I have to say, like, I'm sorry, I'm biased on this channel, but I'm not picking him. I think I finally get to pick him. Okay, I'm going. This is make or break for Tai Tuivasa, right? Surely, if he doesn't win this, he's going, right. They're getting rid of him. They're gonna ship him off. Probably the same for Louis. He has been chinned, and he has been submitted. It's tough. Both of them are shit. Both of them are fucking shit. It's gonna be entertaining. We're gonna be watching them falling all over each other. We might even see Tai Tuivasa do some cool shit like he used to back in the day. We might get a shoey, to be fair. We could get a shoey. To shoey or not to shoey? Do we pick Tui? Or do we go with Louis? It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. I actually don't know. They're both awful. I don't know. They're both dreadful. You know what? We'll go with Louis Sutherland. We're gonna go with Louis Sutherland to win a decision against Tai Tuivasa. Although we'll probably, you know what, on the same bet that we've got Gerald Meerschaert winning, we'll probably do like a Gerald Meerschaert to win in round 3, and then we'll do Tai Tuivasa by knockout on the same one. Like, you know, well, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do for the betting angle. But for the predictions, we're going with Louis Sutherland by decision, because both of them are awful. And honestly, who fucking cares anymore? Like, actually, who cares about Tai Tuivasa? And Louis Sutherland's really starting to try my patience. You know, I am biased. I'll be the first one to admit it, but he's trying my fucking patience here. Do it for Scotland, Louis! Anyway. Now it's time to talk about the king. Okay, because next fight's Shamil Gassiev versus Brando Perisic. I think it's Perisic. I hope so anyway, because I've just said it. I'm just saying like a... a naughty word in another language. I don't know it. Anyway, the king has decided to make an appearance for us. Waldo Cortez Acosta did dethrone him last time, but I still believe that Shamil Gassiev has what it takes to become a champion one day. You know, the stars will align. Okay, you never know what could happen. Okay, you never know. You never know. But yeah, I think we're going to see Shamil absolutely blob Brando, unfortunately. Like he's got a win over Louis Sutherland, fair enough. And he's got a win over Ellison, but at the same time, it's like, who the fuck? Honestly, even though I've just picked Louis Sutherland, who the fuck is Louis Sutherland and who the fuck is fucking Elijah Ellison? You know? Like, actually, who are they? I know it's a terrible division in heavyweight, and it's not very, like, it's not a very deep division, but just no one's even very good in there, and it's not like you can build yourself off of the names that already exist in there, and no one's really watching heavyweights outside of the UFC. I know I'm not. You know, I'm not watching SFC. So it's hard for these guys to actually build and get a bit of notoriety as well. But for me, Shamil Gaziev's been around in the UFC for a little while. And you know what? He's got some wins over some decent guys. Not the best of the best. Certainly not the best of the best. But he's got some wins over some decent guys in heavyweight for the talent pool that is at heavyweight. So I'm going to go with Shamil Gaziev. I do think it's going to be a blobbening. I think that Shamil Gaziev is probably just going to blob Brando Perisic. I think Brando's got power, and I think Shamil Gaziev will know that too. And I think whenever Shamil fights a guy with power, he'll blob them. If he doesn't feel like he can tussle with the stand up, he'll just start being blobby and smothering. And he's got decent boxing as well. He can go toe to toe with quite a lot of guys in the division, and I think it'll be entertaining, and then it'll be funny when they're all like tired and falling over each other and stuff. But we're going to go with the king, Shamil Gaziev, future champion, future heavyweight champion, Shamil Gaziev. I think it's going to be a blob and decision, to be honest with you. I think he's going to blob him and decision all over him. Yeah. Shamil Gaziev by decision. I think it's going to be a clear decision. I think he's going to get blobbed. I really do. I really do think he's going to get blobbed. Let's take a little look back because we're in the main card now. I just want to make sure. So we're going with a decision. Probably a decision. No, I'm joking. It's a good card. I swear it's a good card. It is a good card. Nonetheless, we're going with Shamil Gaziev by decision. I feel like I'm picking a lot of decisions for this card. I really, really do. We'll see. It's going to be entertaining. It is going to be entertaining. Look, it's going to be fun when we're watching Taito Ivasa and Louis Sutherland just stood either side of the octagon, gasping for air and throwing haymakers. It's going to be fun. Same with Shamil Gaziev and Brando Perisic. It's going to be like Perisic. I don't know. It's going to be like Shamil. It's going to be Brando's getting some shots in, and then Shamil's just going to start like grabbing his wrists and just laying and putting his belly on him and stuff. It's going to be great. Well, next fight, we've got Marwan Rahiki versus Oli Shomid. Oli Shomid making his debut. Main event, making his debut. Fair enough. Big stage to make your debut on, I'll be honest with you. Must be popular in Aussie lands. But I am actually going to pick against them. So this is... How many... I think I've gone with the majority of the Aussies, and now back to back, I'm going with Shamil and Marwan Rahiki. Why am I going with Marwan Rahiki? Because he broke my boy's legs. he broke my boy's legs. Broke him. But actually, he's not that bad. He's actually put on some decent performances on Contender Series, and then again breaking the legs of Harry Hardwick. But before that as well, he's got some. Well, I think he's been mostly finishing his opponents, to be honest with you. So we are looking for that finish by Marwan Rahiki again. I think he's got some devastating striking, man. I think everything he hits you with hurts is what we've learned from the Harry Hardwick fight. I don't know enough about Ollie. I think it's ballsy of him to go up there main event as his debut, especially with the record of 4-2. But I actually think this is them trying to build Marwin. They're trying to build Marwin Rahiki here, and I don't blame them actually. I think he could go pretty far. I haven't seen Champion yet, but I think he could go pretty far. So yeah, we're going to go with Marwin Rahiki. I do think he gets the finish. Let me just examine. She's been knocked out most recently, and that was a year and 10 months ago. Yeah, and everyone's thinking of knockouts as well. Yeah, yeah, I like the knockout for it. I like Marlon Rahiki by a knockout. I think that's a pretty safe bet, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, I feel bad not having looked into Ollie Shkomid more, but he's 4-2 outside of the UFC. This is a big stage to be getting in. Is he like a late? Is he like a late replacement? Go away. He is. He is. Damn, Jack Jenkins would have been sick as well. Ooh, okay. Yeah, well then we're going with Marwin Rahiki, but listen, don't count Shkomid out. Don't count Shkomid out. I know he's not Aussie now as well. I've just realised that he's not an Aussie. But it's close enough. It's close enough. Um, but, close enough. Same continent. I'm going with Marwin Rahiki by knockout. I hope Ollie Shkomid manages to get the upset, but he's not Aussie striker getting the upset. That's the thing. He's from New Zealand, so if it actually was the same thing, I'd probably be like, Ollie Shkomid's going to get the knockout. He's going to be the Aussie striker and get the knockout. Doesn't matter. The Aussie knockout artists are coming later. Just hang on a little bit longer. We're going with Marwin Rahiki. I think he gets the knockout over Ollie Shkomid. I'd say like round 1, round 2, fairly quickly for Marwin Rahiki to get to work. Yeah. On to the next one. We've got Tim Elliott versus Steve Erceg. I was big on Steve Erceg for a long time, man. I really was. Really liked his style. And then he went back-to-back 3 losses. And you know what? All against, former, champion at the time, Alexander Pantoja. Then you got Kai Kara France. He got chinned by him, but Kai was, making a run for the title also. And then Brandon Moreno, a former champion. Not the worst losses in the world. He's a heavy favourite in this fight as well. He beat Ode Osborne most recently in a unanimous decision. Did I pick Ode Osborne? No, I think I picked Steve Erceg again. So it's a rough one. It's a rough one. Those 3 fights are kind of make you worried that there's probably a cap on how far he will go. But he's being given an easier fight in Tim Elliott today. Not the easiest fight in the world. Tim Elliott is hard to put away. He is. And he gets wins, man. He's good. He's good. I think he's being counted out, being a plus 300 underdog like that. I think you got to give him some credit. You got to give him just a pinch of credit. Like I know he's not lost to champions and title contenders. I know that. But look, Steve Erceg has finished Matt Schnell. Like I'm not like, look, I'll prove it to you. Look, it's not like I was being like, let me look for another one. I was pausing for dramatic effect. Yeah, I don't think Steve Erceg really finishes many people inside of the UFC. Outside the UFC is a different story, lower level of competition. What I'm saying is, inside of the UFC, Steve Erceg doesn't really beat anybody up and knock them out aside from Matt Schnell, and he got a title shot off of that. Don't get me wrong, he got a title shot off of that. But then you've got Tim Elliott. Fair enough. 21-13-1. Not the cleanest, not the prettiest of records. But, strangled Sumadeji. Beat Kai Asakura. Like I say, not like... I don't think he's a world beater, but Tim Elliott's not being given the credit he deserves here. And I'm actually considering breaking a tradition. I'm breaking the theme of the video. I'm actually going with Tim Elliott over Steve Erceg. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I kind of do lean towards Tim Elliott, I'm not going to lie. More experience as well. More experience. More consistent. I know 21 and 13 and 1 isn't like I said, it's not a pretty record, but he's more consistent, you know? What are their attributes? What are their physical attributes? One more time. My apologies for taking so long on these. It's a good card, though, you know? It's a good card. It's got some good matchups on it. Yeah. I mean, aside from the age and the slight height advantage to Usyk and reach advantage, they're pretty much the same build-wise, like height and physique-wise, height and reach-wise. Slight advantage to Usyk, but not by much. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. I think I'm going to go with Tim Elliott for an upset. I think Tim Elliott might chin Steve Usyk and get the upset. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to go with Tim Elliott for this one. I really am. That's 3 in a row, by the way. 3 in a row of not going with the... is it Oceania? I don't know. Oceania. Yeah, Oceania. Not going with Oceania. That's the 3rd time. Crazy. Co-main event time. We're almost done. We're almost done. Bear with me, okay? We're over the 30-minute mark. My apologies. Okay, bear with me. Co-main event. We've got Beneil Dariush versus Quillan Salkeld. Oh my goodness. As you know, if you've been following the channel, Quillan Salkeld, probably favourite fighter at the minute. He's on the banner of the channel. He's a champion. He's a future champion on the banner. He's up there with the great Shamil Gassiev. Okay? Up on the banner. I swear. Well, that's seeming to be a curse because Shamil lost when he went on there. Yuri Prohaska's on there. And he just lost. He didn't end up getting the title. Anyway, we're not going to worry about that superstition. We're going with Quillan Salkeld by knockout over Beneil Dariush. It has to be done. It has to be done. Look at this. Look at this chin. His chin gone, brother. No chin, brother. It's gone. Beneil Dariush has no longer got a chin. In my opinion. Look, in this fight though, look. Against Renato Moicano, he took some shots. He did actually take some shots. And everyone was like, oh, maybe his chin's not gone. Maybe Renato Moicano doesn't hit super duper hard. Maybe Benoit Saint-Denis, you know, hits a lot harder. I don't know. Maybe Arman Tsarukyan hits a lot harder. You know, I think that's what it is. I think if you can hit hard, you can put Beneil Dariush out. How often does Charles Oliveira actually like finish someone with strikes? Like really though, you know, like he can stand up, he can take shots and he can stand up. But how often does he actually finish people with strikes? I don't think Beneil's got the toughest of chins, and I think that Salkeld is gonna put one on him. I really do. I think he's going to be hitting hard, vicious strikes. And you know, the Jamie Malarkey tells us also that he's got a little bit of grappling. I don't think Salkeld should be trying to grapple. I don't think he should be trying to grapple with Beneil Dariush by any stretch. It's good that he's shown us that he can do that. It is good that he's shown us he can do that. But we need a knockout here, man. We don't really want to grapple with Beneil Dariush. I think that's where we give him the best chance of winning. I really do. I think we kind of throw the fight away if we let him grapple. Obviously, he's going to go for it, and we're going to have to defend it. We are going to have to defend it. But yeah, I'm going with Quillan Salkeld. I think he's going to knock him out. I really do. I think we're going to get a nice little head kick knockout. Maybe even like a flying knee scenario with Beneil, you know, given different angles, you know, dropping low. I think maybe he runs right into a knee. I really do. I'm going with Quillan Salkeld by knockout. I'm very confident in this. Even though he might have I may have cursed him with my YouTube banner. I'm going with Quillan Salkeld by knockout. It's got to be done. Look, it's written in the stars. Do you know why his nickname is in here? His nickname is Minority Killer. Okay, and if he senses even an inch, even a speck of brown, you're going down. But yeah, so Yeah, Quinlan Salkeld by knockout over Beneil Dariush. It's a shame. I actually quite like Beneil. I do. I quite like Beneil. It's a shame to see his chin has deteriorated so much so quickly. Because there was a time where I was like, again, kind of like a Gamrot, where I was like, oh, this guy, this guy could do it, But no, I don't think so anymore. Main event time. We've got JDM versus Carlos Prates. Actually, a sick scrap. Aussie striker versus fucking Brazilian striker. Both guys tough. I do believe that Carlos Prates has more finishes though. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. Do we think that JDM is more well-rounded? Perhaps. Perhaps JDM is more well-rounded. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see. It's mad because it is crazy. Do we think JDM tries to like wear Pratis out? I feel like Pratis really falls off as the fight goes on. I mean, he lost that fight. He lost the decision to Ian Gary. But I feel like he really does start to lose the fight. I think Ian Gary's onto something with this, yeah. I feel like he just starts to really not really be able to do anything as the fight goes on. Maybe that's a gas tank thing because of how much he smokes. I don't know. I'm a smoker too. I don't know if it's a gas tank thing. I don't know. But he's efficient. That's the thing. He's an efficient striker, and he doesn't often go to a decision. And I feel like JDM, while is also a decent striker, doesn't have the same power as a Carlos Prates. Defensively, I think he should be okay for a little while, and I think he should use that to his advantage. I think he should play it smart. I think he should make Prates work hard, burn that fuel, use them lungs a bit, burn them lungs out a little bit, get him gasping. I think JDM can actually get a finish over Carlos Prates. But as you can see by the odds, this is near evens. So it's a tough one to pick. It is a tough one to pick. It really is. But yeah, Carlos Prates is really, really good. It's just Ian Gary has given out the blueprint on beating Prates, and it is just kind of letting him burn himself out. If you just kind of don't let him use his weapons, if you don't let him hit you hard, he doesn't really have anything else. Like he's an efficient striker, with the goal being devastation, right? So he's really good at getting into a position to knock you out with the least amount of strikes, the least amount of effort possible. But if you're someone like Ian Gary and you just keep giving different looks in different positions, someone like a Jack Della Maddalena, Jack can do this. This is within Jack's wheelhouse. If you just keep switching it up and giving different positions, different looks and different angles, and you just keep cutting and you don't stay still, it kind of makes it hard for Carlos Prates to find his easy victory. I don't want to say easy, his efficient victory. Okay, because he's playing on efficiency, so he really does. I don't know if he knows his gas tank is bad more so than he lets on. But if you watch him fight, as the fight goes on, he starts taking more chances to land these finishes, and he's got a decent chin on him. Don't get me wrong, but in the Ian Gary fight, it led to him just kind of walking forward and getting bopped repeatedly because he didn't want to expend the energy because he's terrified of gassing and then being told like you got to quit smoking. I feel like that's what it is. And he's done well. He's done well with this style. But I do think Jack Della Maddalena has the ability to implement a game plan like Ian Gary's and just be on the move, giving different looks continuously, and just being really frustrating for Carlos Prates. And then when he starts overcommitting and he starts being like, right, this is the time, I'm gonna lunge across this space, something I wouldn't normally do, and throw these strikes just to get this fight over with. I'll expend this little bit of energy now to get it done, and he starts like taking more chances. I think that's when JDM pulls ahead. 5 rounds as well. I think JDM will really benefit from going into 4 and 5 over Carlos Prates. I think JDM's got a better gas tank. So it'll be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see. I'm going to go with JDM. I'm going to go with JDM over Carlos Prates. I think it's going to be a decision victory for JDM. I could even see a submission. No, it's probably going to be a decision victory for JDM. It's the thing is, here's the thing, you guys. I do think the blueprint is out there for Ian Garry, and I think that JDM actually is quite smart and will implement said game plan and use it effectively. And just be elusive, just be hard to hit, just don't be anywhere dangerous for too long, and just keep making Carlos Prates commit to things he can't get, and he will tire, and you will pull ahead. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Jack Della Maddalena. I think he pulls ahead in rounds 3, 4, and 5 if he makes it that long. Listen, he's got a sound defense, and he can grapple. He can do a little bit of grappling, and he's got a sound defense. To be fair to him, does he stand up to the power and efficiency of Carlos Prates? Only time will tell. But I've got a feeling that JDM's defensive mind and defensive IQ will be enough to keep him alive, or keep him conscious for round 1 and 2. And then I think in 3, 4, and 5 is where he can really pull ahead and make a statement. Don't get me wrong though. You know, he could win 1 or 2 and then win 3, 4, and 5 as well. You know, he could say he comes out in round 1 and just doesn't respect Prates and doesn't let Prates do what he wants to do, you know? And he keeps kicking Prates back, pushing him back. That could also win him around early on in the fights, because Prates isn't a slow... I don't see... This is the thing with Prates' style, is that Prates isn't a slow starter, he's just a slow fighter. Like, and not even in the sense that, like, he doesn't move quickly, because he can move blindingly quickly. He's like Sloth the Indolent, okay? He's ridiculously powerful, ridiculously efficient, but I think he's scared to gas. I think he likes the aura. He loves aura farming. This, you know, he smokes so much, and he keeps knocking dudes out. Like, he loves the aura farm. I really do think he loves it, and I think that the day that he gasses the fuck out and gets finished is when all that aura disappears and he has to quit smoking. You know, and I think he knows that too. So I think if you make him fight this 5-round fight as a 5-round fight and don't let him get his licks in early, I think it'll stress him out. And I do think, and he'll be starved for nicotine as well. It'll stress him the fuck out. It will. You can win this fight if you just play it slower than him. Alright, play the patience game, JDM. But yeah, I'm going to go with JDM by decision over Carlos Prates. It's a bold move. Don't get me wrong. There will be some side action on Carlos Prates by knockout. You know what? We'll add it to the. Hold up. We'll head back. We'll add it to our fun bet, our crazy bet, which was our crazy bet was Gerald Meerschaert winning in the 3rd round. So Gerald Meerschaert to win the fight, like to finish the fight in round 3, and then we have Taito Ivasa to knock out Louis Sutherland. So that's a 3rd round finish for GM3, and then Taito Ivasa to knock out Louis Sutherland in any rounds. It doesn't really matter. I think it's more of a gassing situation. And then we'll go with Carlos Prates to knock out JDM. And I think you'll actually get a hefty lump sum, because Gerald Meerschaert is a crazy underdog. There was another guy. Where is it? I picked him for the prediction. Hold up. Another underdog, and I've forgotten. No, was it Cam Rowanson? No, it wasn't Cam Rowanson. What am I talking about? It was. I was talking about the disrespect. Was it Wes Schultz? I think it might have been Wes Schultz. Was it Wes Schultz? No, hold up. It was Tim Elliott. It was Tim Elliott. Like, that plus 300 underdog on Tim Elliott is crazy, man. Tim Elliott's actually decent. Like, he's not. I think he's better than to be a fucking plus 300 underdog to Steve Erceg. I think he's better than that, at least. But yeah, I've picked Tim Elliott. I've picked Tim Elliott anyway. I'm going with Tim Elliott. Fuck it. I'm going with Tim Elliott by a finish over Steve Erceg at this rate. But yeah, so you know we've got the fun bet for the fun bets. You know, I feel like there's actually potential in this. Okay, GM3 does it one last time against Jacob Malkoun, who is terrible, by the way. So there's potential for this. Jacob Malkoun is bad. Like of his last 2 wins, Jacob Malkoun didn't even win one of them. In his last 2 wins, Jacob Malkoun didn't even win one of them. Why do I sound like that? Look, Okay, that isn't even actually a knockout. Okay, so we can just forget about that. We'll just call that a no contest. He went to a decision with Torres Finney, who was just a fat guy. He was just a little fat guy. You know? It's not even that crazy of a fucking of a fun bet of a like a maybe, you know. But yeah, I suppose that concludes the video. We're gonna go with JDM by decision over Carlos Prates for the main event. If I didn't say it before, but yeah, gonna be an interesting night of fights. Might stream it. We'll see what happens. Might be live, maybe on YouTube. We'll see. Until next time, keep your chin down and keep swinging. Peace and love. I'll see you around.